If you could just tell me your name and a little bit about what you do.
So Mike Robinson from Deloitte. I'm head of Deloitte's National Solutions Centre in Belfast, and I do probably kind of three things. So leading teams doing delivery projects, so working with clients like Tesco Bank and John Lewis to implement web solutions, so johnlewis.com and tescobank.com, and then integration solutions, so payments engines, service buses, things like that. And then my third thing is really leading that solution centre we're trying to build in Belfast. So we've been doing development work in Deloitte for 10 years. It started when I joined 10 years ago with 5 developers. Now we've got about 80, and we're looking to take that up to about 200. And when we looked at how we'd grow, we looked at a few places: Spain, Russia, India, and ultimately, well, luckily for me, because I'm from Belfast, we picked Belfast. And so I'm trying to set up that dev centre, trying to get the right people into it, get the right ways of working, and even build the right building for them. So that's what I do.
Certainly lots going on then.
Yeah, very busy.
What technologies would you use on a daily basis then? What would be your main?
So we're pretty technology and vendor independent, but saying that, I would say about 50-60% of our projects are Java based, and then the rest are a whole mix of technologies. A lot of mobile work kind of coming in now: HTML5, Python, Ruby, Groovy, anything. It's one of our absolute. Being a sort of consultancy business, that we get to try new technologies and play with new toys and try a new thing every sort of 6 months when we move to a new client or a new project. So we're pretty lucky that way.
You certainly sound like you're in the know. So what is your view of the NI marketplace in terms of IT and technology?
It's pretty incredible. The past 2 years, it's got its real benefits and its real challenges. I mean, it is a small kind of community, and it's been really saturated in a good way, and again in a challenging way with IT kind of business at the moment. But I think the universities have responded, and we're seeing sort of them revising their courses and looking to get more talent through there, even looking to work with schools and colleges as well. So I mean, there has been a real kind of response to it. But I mean, that's really interesting. But also kind of building the community here. So seeing the likes of the Build Conf, which is an amazing conference. I go to conferences and speak conferences across the world, and Build Conf is one of the best I've actually seen. So seeing those sort of events of that sort of caliber, and even user groups and meetups and things like that, is you're kind of really seeing a bit of a buzz. That I spent a lot of time in London as well, and it's very similar to the sorts of things they're achieving over there in the likes of Shoreditch. So it's a pretty cool place to be, but not without its challenges.
Well, my next question was going to be, what strengths do you think we have here in Northern Ireland in terms of the technology marketplace? What do you think that's what makes us stand out then?
Well, I think access to talent is a big thing. I think pricing is a big thing, and not just kind of in salaries. I think salaries in Belfast have increased due to the competition. I think that's probably a good thing. But even just in terms of resources like buildings, utilities, all those things are cheaper here. And like I said, we looked at a number of different countries to do this, and decided ultimately we could be competitive doing this in Belfast. So that's a real strength. But then again, it takes a certain attitude and a certain culture to be able to build a community and to run events and to do things like this and have numbers like this turn up. And I do think a little bit of sort of the culture and attitude of Belfast people helps in that.
Brilliant. And finally, what do you think of the event this evening?
The turnout's phenomenal. Again, I go to BCS events across the UK, and even in London, it's unusual to get numbers of this, and the venue's pretty incredible as well. And 2 very, very good speakers. I've seen both these guys before, and they're very good. And the first one so far with Simon has been interesting. So like I say, anything we can do to kind of build the buzz around this is a great thing.